Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly, a very, very good opening partnership. Mohammad Azharuddin, who's been in form, as is Ajay Jadeja. Hrishikesh, Kanitkar can bat. We've seen that. And Mongia too. So India has a fairly long batting lineup. Anil Kumble, Venkatesh Prasad, Harbhajan Singh replacing Agarkar, who's got an injury. And Harbhajan Singh will be the ones the Indian captain will be looking to restrict the Australians.
Right, here we go. Very important match, this one. These two sides have been at each other's throats now for a little while. Straight to extra goal. Oh, badly fielded. Well, it was a nasty bounce. I think it must have bounced and gone left off the turf just in front of the fieldsman. But he had plenty of time to adjust there. It wasn't as if it was just in front of his hands. Oh, that's pretty close, just outside the line. He had a little bit of a look at that one. That was a nice straight delivery. It probably would have hit the stumps, but it hit the pad just outside the line of off stump. Oh, well played. He's driven that one through the covers. Lovely shot by Gilchrist. He plays it square to the wicket beautifully. Well, that'll relieve the pressure for him. It's just nice to get off the mark, and if you do it with a 4, it's even better. Into the gap again. Just a little bit too straight. This time they'll get 3. And what's more, that makes it 11 runs off the over. 16 for none. Just one extra. 4 overs bowled. Going along nicely. 21 without loss. And another single. There's a man down at 45. He's going to have to go a long way around to pick that one up. I'll get to... Yes, it's very important, isn't it, Sonny, these days? The relative ability of the teams in the field can make such a huge difference.
Oh, yes, because a run saved is a run scored for your team. The captain himself is still top class in the field. Nothing goes past him.
Oh, well played. Lovely straight drive. We see him play that shot quite often. I think you've got to get that mid-off a little straighter for him. He likes to get across, get that ball from just outside off stump and hit it straight down the ground. Wonderful shot.
Yes, it is. How often have we seen this shot being played in the tournament here? And that's to a great extent due to the slowness of the pitch. There's not much of a bounce over here in Sharjah, at least not here this tournament. And that has allowed the batsman to come onto the front foot and play it on the up straight.
There's a little ball boy sitting down there. He won't be too popular amongst the players down there if he keeps running across and stopping the ball in front of that MRF sign. There's $500 if you get it through there, and he's just doing his job, I suppose. You want to get up there and get the ball, but there's the sign. You can see just to his right. So there we go. Let's see how far off it was. I tell you what, it would have gone straight through. I tell you what, I think I might protest.
I think it's Adam Gilchrist who should be protesting, Greggy, unless you're in for a cut of the drive or something.
This partnership looking good. Run a ball. Better than a run a ball. Prasad continuing, and there's that single again. Oh, he's at the stumps. This could be out. I think this is gone. I think the Indians on fire in the field today. He's calling for the replay. I think that looked out to me. Sonny, what do you reckon?
Yes, it did look out over here. Anil Kumble had thrown the previous ball also. That was the last ball of Harbhajan Singh. That time he missed. This time of Venkatesh Prasad's bowling. He is again at mid-off, and he's picked it up on the run. And this is not an easy throw to make, because the umpire would have distracted him a little bit, and I think Mark Waugh is struggling.
That's all over. That's a very big wicket. Mark Waugh, I think, knows. Watch the red light come. Yes, it's about to happen. Yes, he's very disappointed. Well, he can't blame anybody. He called for the run. Perhaps the Indians sucked him in a little bit. He's been taking singles out on the offside. Perhaps Mohammad Azharuddin said, righto, give him one or two, and then come in and let's have a go at him. Good fielding.
Also, I think the bounce was very good for Anil Kumble. He came in at the right height, so he didn't really have to get up too quickly. Nice little balance, nice throw, very accurate. Mark Waugh run out 16 when he was looking very dangerous in Australia, 33 for 1.
Gilchrist 21 from 26, so he's moving along pretty smartly. Well, theoretically that's safe. Navjot Sidhu, the fielder. He's hit it into the gap, so that was good cricket on Gilchrist's part. For one moment it looked as though it might have been going a bit straighter than that.
Well, the risk he took there was that he was hitting against the spin, and that's why he got the top edge. He's decided now that mid-wicket is the spot. There's no man patrolling that area in the deep.
Ricky Ponting in that type of stroke I was talking about, sometimes he does it to medium paces, sometimes to slows, but it almost invariably gets a leading edge. He just might be, as Ian Chappell pointed out yesterday, he's not waiting for the ball to come, and he's getting his bat turned over just that fraction more than he actually wants. Not much in it. It was almost in the middle of the bat there, but finished up almost a leading edge, and Prasad put it down.
Yes, that's the problem he had early on the tour of India.
That's out. Well, that was a very soft dismissal. I'd suggest that Gilchrist was well beaten in the flight there and had to change his mind. He started off looking as though he was going to try to hit it straight down the ground, found himself short of it and tried to chip it over.
Well, full marks to the young man. He's beaten him in the flight. Gilchrist not to the pitch of the ball, getting it high on the bat, and a simple catch to the man at mid-off, Kanitkar. And that's a big wicket for India.
And the preliminary rounds there, 1,000. Man of the series, 2,500. That's a good award. Ah, should have got it. Went over the top of it. It's not going to be a moment of delight for Kumble. Prasad, the fieldsman, it's 52 for 2.
I'm sure as this game progresses, you're going to get a full house.
There's a real buzz around this ground. Nicely timed. He's got that between the man at mid-wicket and the one at wideish mid-on. That's a good stroke from Ponting.
Yes, he should be happy with his shot. He's been struggling with his timing of late. And that boundary there should do his confidence a world of good. And what was different here, he just allowed the ball to come that bit a little longer onto the bat. And before this, Ponting's been trying to hit the ball too hard. Just waited on it fractionally wronger.
Yes, just going back to the ground for a moment. A few years ago, the Brisbane ground would hold, well, we had to close it on Sundays when there was an all-ticket game with 17 or 18,000. So it's about the same size. No vast stands. We're in a two-storey stand here, which is pretty much the same as the old Brisbane. And the rest is single-storey all the way around. But it's a nice atmosphere. Nice surroundings, a football ground just across the way. The umpire might call to have a look at the replay there, but it was a wonderful attempt, successful or not. Just looked as though he might have saved it. They have a look now at the replays, but it did look to me as though Jadeja got his left hand to it, flicked it back behind him, and then the first part of his body that would have touched would have been there. Oh. Well, there you go. Assume nothing. And it's 70 for 2. Well fielded. He needed to get down very fast and a considerable distance as well. 72 for 2 now with the adjustment for that boundary given off the last ball. With that excellent piece of fielding from Jadeja. Ian Chappell comes into the commentary box now, and with him is Sunu Gavaskar.
Thank you very much, Richie. Australians trying to push on in the first 15 overs. They've lost both their openers. And Tom Moody being elevated to try and quicken the pace a little. It's a pretty good save at mid-off. One's already got through there and got to the boundary past Prasad, but on that occasion he was able to cut it off.
Well, the Indian fielding has really been of a very high standard. Yes, there has been the odd misfield, but by and large the Indians have really put everything into their fielding. Well, look at that effort there by Venkatesh Prasad, diving to his right and ensuring that there wasn't a boundary taken.
Ponting has been in very good form in the last few weeks. He struggled a bit in the Test series, but then in the one-day series in India started to acclimatise to the pitches, and he's going on with the job here in Sharjah 50 in the match against New Zealand. That's well struck. That's a long one. Don't call him Long Tom for nothing.
Well, he was sent up the order specifically for that. As Ian Chappell said, he was elevated up the order to hit these elevation shots.
Australia finished off the 15 overs in fine style with a couple of big overs there. Overs 14 and 15. And 80 in the first 15 is pretty good. Ponting looked as though he was trying to get a little fancy there and work that one on the onside.
Well, that was good bowling there by Kanitkar, because he got the ball to drift away from the batsman there. When he's released it, it's drifting away, and Ponting thought that because he bowled from close to the stump that the ball was going to be easy to work on the onside. He wasn't able to do so because of the drift that Kanitkar got.
Harbhajan in the outfield. That's a good save. He's a good athlete, Harbhajan.
That's what the induction of a young man in your team can do. He's quick, he's eager, he's energetic. He wants to show that he's capable of doing that so easily.
The Australian run rate is a good one. I think most of the teams, or the three teams in this competition, have decided that you've got to get that run rate up early while the ball is new and fairly hard, because it becomes more difficult as the overs go by. It's going to be Harbhajan now to bowl from the Sharjah club end. Picked up the wicket of Adam Gilchrist in his first spell, bowled in the first 15 overs.
And he's got a good economy rate, 3.66, in spite of the fact that he came into bowl in the first 15 overs, when he would have had to bowl with those field restrictions on.
Harbhajan does generally give the ball a bit of air, so it'll be interesting to see if he can tempt Tom Moody. He's got a long off and a long on, and then a deep mid-wicket on the fence, and it'll be a good challenge as the young man's throwing them up. Interesting to see how long it is before Moody is tempted.
Well, there's not much of a breeze, but the breeze is behind him, behind Harbhajan.
Well, it didn't take long. He was charging down the track and looking to loft that delivery from Harbhajan.
Well, that's what he's been sent for, Tom Moody, to try and get the big sixes. The Australians haven't sent him to pick the singles, or shall we say only the singles.
This partnership building up quite nicely now for Australia. 94 for 2 after 18.5 overs. Moody has moved along to 30 from 29 deliveries. Ponting 22 from 32. 2 4s and a 6 for Moody. That's a good top spinner from Harbhajan.
Yes, he's bowled that well. He's said in some interviews when he was selected to play for India that he's watched Saqlain Mushtaq from the Pakistan team, and look at that. Look at the way the seam's gone. It's the kind of delivery that'll move a little bit away from the right-hander.
Jadeja at deep backward square, and that is the 50 partnership.
But then cricket is also a funny game. Just run into a bad patch. That's what the Englishman would be hoping for. Ian?
Yeah, well, the one-day games in Australia will actually be in the year 99, so it'll only be test matches in 98, so they won't have to worry about him in a one-day game in 98. Well, that's beautifully hit. Very straight, very hard, and clears the advertising hoardings.
Well, that move of sending Tom Moody up the order ahead of Michael Bevan, certainly working for Australia. This is the big hit.
Straight through the hands of Tendulkar.
And that's nicely placed on the offside. Should get a couple for it. And now we'll get 3.
This has been a very positive partnership between these two. Ponting is always consistent, a very good player at any style of cricket, but he's been very consistent in one-day cricket. Tom Moody has had a few opportunities over the years, but hasn't been able to produce his form consistently. But the partnership has been a very positive one, and it's been good cricket for Australia.
That's in the air and taken. He doesn't miss many, Mohammad Azharuddin. Back through off the top edge. And the young off-spinner has struck again. He's picked up his second wicket. And he's bowled quite beautifully here.
Well, that was a brilliant catch from Azharuddin. He covered a lot of ground, and the reason he was able to take the catch relatively comfortably in the end was because he was on the move before the shot was played. He saw what the batsman was going to do, and by that stage he was already moving, and look at the distance he covered, and yet he took the catch comfortably. Very, very good fielding, a lot of experience behind that, and a lot of talent also. Australia 110 for 3.
So Australia have lost 3 wickets for 127, but they've had some good overs, and that's why they're maintaining a good run rate here. Good, strong and long batting lineup.
the last ball of the last over, we saw an error in the field. Kanitkar coming off the boundary, knowing that Michael Bevan was going to be coming back for 2. Look, he's only about 30 metres from the wicket. So had he been able to pick it up and get a good throw back, Bevan would have been under pressure. But all of the pressure was felt by the fielders there. And that's what forces the mistakes. And that's one of the great strengths of Michael Bevan at this stage of the innings.
It's also at this stage of the innings where it's not easy to force the pace when you're batting, because the ball does get very soft. And with the pitch being as slow as it is, timing becomes that much more difficult. Nicely hit into the gap. Good piece of fielding too by Jadeja, running around. But that was a leg break ball by Tendulkar. Tendulkar just having a chat with Azharuddin after bowling that delivery, just wanting some adjustments in the field. That's what Australia will have to do during this stage of the game, pick up the 1s and 2s. The occasional boundary is bound to come.
Well, it puts the pressure back on the bowlers to try and do something different when the batsmen are getting 1s and 2s all the time. Frustrates the bowler, so then he tries either to bowl it a bit faster or changes his line. That's when the bad ball comes and the boundary generally follows. So it takes an experienced bowler and it takes an experienced batsman. We've got a good contest on our hands here. This should be a rip-roaring game.
Again, excellent running by Ricky Ponting. He knew Prasad was deep on the boundary line at square leg. Put pressure on him, came back for the second. 8 runs of that over, 135 for 3.
Well, the Australian run rate has dipped a little to 5.03, but they've still got it over 5. We're in the 31st over. So things progressing pretty well for Australia here in Sharjah. The 3rd match in this Coca-Cola series. And Daphne, I'm sure Daphne Benner will be watching on Fox in Australia. I can bring her the news that Richie is still in very good form with the housework. He's just mopped up all the water that he spilt here in the commentary position.
Little touch of Typhoon Tyson in Sharjah. Now then, we've got Anil Kumble having finished his over out there. The off-spinner Kanitkar coming in, and that's straight down the throat of the man at deep mid wicket. You would not believe it. I don't think Ricky Ponting will either. Can't have forgotten the man was there, but he picked him out as though drawing a plan.
Yes, Ponting is not exactly racing off the field. He's very annoyed with himself. I think he was expecting the ball to turn a little more, and he was intending to hit it more towards square leg, but it tended to go straight on, and you see it also didn't come onto him. In the end, he was actually having to reach out, go out after it, rather than wait for it to come to him. That wasn't where he meant to hit it. Kumble gratefully accepted the opportunity. It's 156 for 4.
No reason to leave the couch tonight. Motorsport fans will be bringing you round 4 of the V8.
Michael Bevan on 29, Steve Waugh 3, 166 for 4. The other problem that India will face later in this innings is there's no Ajit Agarkar later in the innings to bowl his in-swinging Yorkers and finish out the innings. So that's something that obviously Mohammad Azharuddin will have thought about before the innings even started. But Agarkar has been very successful in that situation. But today it's Harbhajan Singh playing in place of Agarkar, and he's about to bowl now at the club end. Why would you put a helmet on for this player?
Wide.
Jadeja very quick on the boundary.
Today might have a little bit of an arm problem. He's normally a brilliant fielder. Just had a bit of a rough passage against New Zealand in the first match.
Harbhajan Singh and Venkatesh Prasad, the two quickies for India in this match. Prasad, pretty useful bowler when he comes back in the late overs with his variation of pace, particularly with that leg cutter. Australia got the run rate up early, and they brought Tom Moody in at number 4 to keep the run rate up, and he did a pretty good job. Hit 2 sixes. So this was the first one off Anil Kumble, so that puts him in line to win the Kit Ply and Kit Cole prize for today for Australia. Those sixes for each team wins $500 US. Well struck, and it gets past Sidhu. Also heading for the MRF sign. Don't stop it, son. But the rope did. Well, it went through everything but the sign. Went through Michael Bevan's legs, it went through the hands of Sidhu, and the rope stopped it from going through the tyre. Onto the stumps, inside edge, and Harbhajan Singh has a victim.
That's put a bit of a stopper on the 270 I was talking about. Harbhajan Singh has got one just to come back a fraction, not much. And the attacking stroke dragged it back off the inside edge onto the stumps. Now 5 down, that's an entirely different thing. Just enough of off cut there for Steve Waugh to drag it back onto the middle and off. Out for 8, and it's 173 for 5.
Darren Lehmann is the new batsman, the left-hander for Australia.
But on pitches where there hasn't been much help for the seam bowlers, he's struggled a bit. He and Debashish Mohanty bowled very well in Toronto, but somehow haven't been able to bowl as well on flatter pitches.
It's pretty tough for the bowlers under those conditions. It really is very much a batting game. No boundaries for Michael Bevan. Pretty typical of his sort of innings. 1s and 2s are the the main whenever Michael Bevan bats in a one-day game. The boundaries generally come, if they do come, right at the end. 5 twos, the rest of them in singles. No threes, no fours, and no sixes. But that's very much the style of play that Michael Bevan and most people who bat in the middle overs of these one-day matches these days tend to just knock the ball around, try and score 5 and 6 runs and over without too much risk. Be looking for 2 again here.
Well, the middle over is very difficult to when the field is spread out. Very difficult for the batsman to hit the boundaries. It's the earlier overs, the first 15 overs, when the fielders are in. There is a field restriction that batsman can get the boundaries. You can see over here the first 25 overs. The Indians doing a good job after 15 overs.
Ganguly had a free hit there. If he could have just got the throw on line, Bevan had given up.
But a tough one, because he was only seeing one stump. Very, very tough angle to score a direct hit.
Lehman, in fact, the runner there. Bevan, the batsman. Lehman was called through by Bevan, and he knew that if it was a direct hit, he was gone. Nature of the game at this stage of the innings. Lehman also a good striker, very much in the mould of Michael Bevan. Bevan a great runner.
Well, he took his chance, Michael Bevan. He's very, very quick between the wickets. He picked on Navjot Singh Sidhu. He knows that Sidhu might be covering ground much quicker than he did in the past, but his throw is still not quite powerful. And if the throw had been accurate, then he would have been in trouble.
Michael Bevan will always take the odds in that circumstance. Good shot, well fielded. Good cricket. 7 runs for the over. Australia 193 for 5.
Well, this is good bowling by the Indians. The last couple of overs, Kanitkar bowled well the previous over, conceding only 2 runs. And now Harbhajan Singh continuing with 2 dot balls.
They really need a wicket here. They've got to take toll. They've built the pressure up on the Australian batsmen. That's it. That's the wicket they wanted. Darren Lehman out for 12. Tried to make room for himself. The pressure had been building, and India have taken toll of that pressure. Harbhajan picks up the important wicket of Darren Lehman.
This is the 3rd wicket for young Harbhajan Singh. This one was perhaps a little fortunate, but he and the other Indian bowlers have bowled well, kept the pressure on the Australians, forced them to take the risk. That's what Darren Lehman did, and paid for it. He's out for 12. Australia 196 for 6.
The game is delicately balanced here in the 42nd over. Damien Martin has a key role to play here. He's a specialist batsman coming in at number 8. He's a boundary hitter. The Australians need a few boundaries at the moment just to break the shackles. They don't need to lose too many wickets, though, in trying to do it. 6 down. Shane Warne to come next, probably, and then Kasprowicz. Both Warne and Kasprowicz are boundary hitters as well, so this is a critical period in this match. A little bit of nervous energy being used up around the ground, not only by the players. Plenty of supporters around the ground will be a little bit nervous as well as the supporters sitting at home watching on television. So the Indian supporters in the crowd will be hoping for more wickets. The Australian supporters will be wanting to see a few boundaries. Good cricket by Martin, just giving himself a chance to have a look at the bowling, and also giving the strike to Michael Bevan, the man who is in form and has had a chance to bat out there for 68 deliveries, and that's the 200 in the 42nd over. 250 well within reach. last 50 was the slowest by a fair margin in the innings. That's a lot to do with the way Michael Bevan plays at this stage of the innings. He'll now be looking to lift the run rate, but he'll want to be there for a bit longer. The Australians don't want to do what New Zealand did the other evening and start to squander wickets and all of a sudden find that they're bowled out 30 or 40 runs less than they could have possibly got. As Sonny said, the Indian batting lineup very strong. The Australians are aware of that. That man Tendulkar is the real danger man, along with a number of others, but I think Tendulkar will really decide this match. If he makes runs and makes them well and quickly, India will probably win. This is a good running shot. Bevan not interested in coming back for 3. They'll settle for the 2. So a good over for Australia. 8 coming, 205 for 6.
Bevan is still there. He's the key for Australia. If he bats right through, then Australia can reach a score of around 240, 250, which I reckon is very competitive.
That's his half century. Well played, Michael Bevan. He's a very consistent player in one-day cricket, and once again he's helping form the backbone of this innings. But it's not over yet. He's got to stay there and make sure he gets a lot more runs before this innings is finished. That's well played.
That's right. If he stays there till the end, he might just take the game out of India's reach. That's if he has support from the other batsmen.
Quite interesting just to look at the figures. First 15 overs, they averaged 5.3 runs an over. Australia got off to a good start, actually, and then India really did very well. The 15 overs after that, they didn't quite get to 5 an over, so they pegged them back a little bit by taking a few wickets. And then the period up to 40 overs, that was the next 10, they've been pegged back even further, 4.2. So definitely the first 15 were the best. The question is, what can they do now in the last 10? Taking that one from outside off stump. 5 off the over, 216 for 6. And the problem Australia have got, if they've just got Warne, Kastrovic and Fleming to come, so Bevan will continue just picking up 1s and 2s. He'll try and bat right through the innings. Now Martin's the man who's going to be called upon to play a few lusty shots out there, I think. He's been brought into the side. They've got an extra batsman in. That's what he's in there for. Might have been worthwhile, I would have thought, sending Warne in ahead of Martin, just to take a bit of a risk, and then have Martin to come in after that to pick up the pieces if it didn't work. Steve Waugh's inclined to change his batting order. I would have thought that might have been worthwhile thinking about.
Yes, Tony. In fact, Steve Waugh did send him up the order in that final in Delhi, the final that Australia won. But that's when the 2 spinners were in operation. One loves to have a go at the spinners. So I guess if Harbhajan and Kumble were bowling in tandem, I'm sure he would have thought of sending Warne ahead of Martin.
That's a wide delivery. They'll get a run for that, and he'll have to re-bowl it as well. Just looking at the gaps in the outfield and trying to put oneself in the mind of the batsman. You can see there that they're moving out towards the boundary now. This is an area here, that area down between square leg and fine leg. That's an area they might score some runs. Well bowled. That one just nipped back a little bit. He's having a shot at the stumps, and the backing up's there. So Mongia trying to hit direct.
Yes, I guess even if he had hit the stumps there, the batsman was comfortably home.
Well bowled too. There's nothing much more you could ask for from your bowler than to get it right up in the block hole and straight. It's the hardest ball to get away. problem is, if you get it wrong, it can end up being a full toss.
That's right. You'll see a lot of variations at this stage of the innings. You'll see the slower ball coming into play, especially from Prasad. But I just get a feeling here that Michael Bevan has a target in mind that he reckons Australia should reach. Just the way he's playing.
Yes, he does. He sets himself. He goes out there and he thinks about what will be acceptable in the circumstances at each point. Takes stock towards the end of the over, looks at it and thinks, okay, what do we have to do now? He certainly will, Ravi. You're right, have something in his mind. 223 for 6. Bevan's on 55. He'll be thinking about his team, not himself. Might have been a bit of bat in that.
He can be deceptive in these final stages, Prasad. When he does get the ball to land on the seam, it does nip back into the right-hander.
Oh, he's hit that one quite firmly. I think he tried to hit it straight down the ground. Didn't quite get it in the middle of the bat. Anyhow, they've got 5 runs off the over, and it's now 225 for 6. Bevan 56, Martin 13, and the partnership 29 off 33. I think Bevan is getting a little edgy. I just get the feeling he wants a boundary or two. Just that last shot last over looked as if he was trying to loft it straight down the ground. So perhaps he's going to start taking a few chances. Nice big gap for him at mid-wicket. He could also go straight over the bowler's head. There are 2 options for him.
Yes, good players at this stage of the innings. They pick a spot.
Got him, yes, he's out. He's gone for the big one over mid-wicket. It's hit the front edge of the bat and just lollipopped out to backward point. That's a big blow for Australia. Bevan is normally very, very cool and calm in these situations, but he got a bit edgy. The Indians have bowled very well, and they frustrated him into that shot.
Yes, he picked that spot at deep mid-wicket, but just closed the face of the blade a little too soon. Takes the leading edge, and a simple catch to Jadeja there at short third man. But the Indians will be delighted because Michael Bevan is a dangerous player. He's again played a fine hand here for Australia. 58, Australia 227 for 7.
Well, Shane Warne's arrived at the crease, and this is always exciting. He likes to play shots, and away he goes. This will be close down the far end. Oh, he's hit him. Well, he was a little slow out of the blocks there, but he got in between the fieldsman and the stumps, and so the ball actually hit him.
That's right. He must have thought that there was a chance here of being run out, so he came in the way of the ball.
He's had a go at this one. It's going way over the top. That's a good shot. Well played, Damien Martin. That was a short delivery, and it deserved all it got.
Yes, this is a top shot. He's got into position very, very quickly. Kumble's pace is not easy to pick the length that quickly, but Martin made no mistake. He gave that a hammering, and it cleared deep mid-wicket quite comfortably.
Right, let's have another quick look at the last dismissal. Trying to close the face here. It hit the front edge of the bat and may even hit the back of the bat. Just lollipopped out on the offside there, and a pretty soft dismissal. Yeah, that little shot. In comes the throw. Shane Warne had his head down that time. He was flying. 10 runs and a wicket off the over. 235 for 7. There's Anil Kumble won't be all that happy about that last delivery. He's got those 2 fieldsmen in that place to stop those short singles. And that last ball of the last over just nudged away behind square and went straight to him, and Kumble would have been pretty unhappy about it. It's well bowled. Again, another short single, and Warren would have been well out. As it turns out, they're going to get another one. Well, he would have been out by about 5 yards. Well, let's have a look at this one first, then we'll go back to that Kumble little single. Watch Warren, just a little smile.
Well, he's been there for only 5 seconds and he's really busy. He was not even in the frame there, that ball hit. He's had a lot of running to do already. He's taken a knock on the body, coming in the way of the throw.
Yes, it's interesting. I certainly think that India has been pretty good in the field, and it's always an indication when players get upset because their colleagues are letting them down, then you know that they really are trying hard. Now just watch the reaction here of Kumble. He has a little look. I think that tells the story, doesn't it? Swung around as if to say, go on guys, wake up. And he's setting some high standards, and that's good to see. This Indian side have fielded well today here, and they expect a lot of each other. Full toss over the top of the offside. That ball will be spinning a little bit. No, I'll settle for one that time. They've been taking a few chances. I think Warren said, nah, not this time. Yes, that's where he likes to hit the seamers, on the offside. He can get it over the fieldsman behind square, or if he hits it in the middle, he could get it through extra cover. See how he opens the face of the bat there. Michael Gastrovich, next man in, looking very thoughtful about it all. Martin on strike. That's a wide. Well, he's got away with it. I think perhaps the fact that it was a well-disguised slower ball was the thing that resulted in Martin missing it, but it was quite wide.
Well, Warren really went after that. Prasad is looking to mix things here. He's trying to bowl a fuller length and every now and then slipping in the slower delivery so that the batsman doesn't get into any sort of groove, doesn't start anticipating what he's going to do.
Actually Warren on strike, isn't it? That's nicely cut away.
No.
The end of the over, 2:41 for 7. Two overs to go. Oh, he's hit that one way down the ground. It's going to go way over the top of Sadhu's head for 6. Well, and well taken as well. Yes, what he wants, the wicket. Well, it was nicely caught, but unfortunately it was about 15 metres over the line.
Well, it's always a contest between Warren and Kumble. On that last occasion, Warren really got stuck into that one.
There's that cut shot of his. That's going down to the boundary as well. Will it make it? Yeah, that's well played. Oh, yes. Kumble getting really frustrated. He's been hit for 3 sixes so far in this innings. This was a good shot of Warren. Just watch this. Right off the meat of the bat.
This was the earlier one. He really got stuck into that one and hit it way back over long on. And a good catch there in the crowd. Second, third attempt, he's got it. And he followed that up with a very good square cut. So this is a good over for Australia.
Oh, he didn't pick that one up at all. Yes, the way he's playing now is the reason why I thought that he might just have been sent up the order. You know, quite a bit of Warren in this sort of frame of mind can be very dangerous. He's pretty strong. He'll be going for another big one now. 2:51 for 7. They could get it up to 270 if he has a good over or two. Oh, well bowled. There's nothing you can do about that. That was a quick one at his toes. So 2 more balls from Kumble. Look at this delivery.
Well, I think this is the kind of length he's going to look to bowl at Warren from now on, every time he comes on strike.
So Martin now has a chance to see if he can get one away. Full toss, just over pitching a little bit, but only one. Well, we've got a match on our hands here. 253, so I think India now are going to have to make the highest score under lights to win the match. That's in this place, in Sharjah. Going for it, and I think they'll get through. Yes, he's there. Well, that's a good over for Australia. 13 from it. Well, there it is, 254 for 7, 1 over to go, and Prasada's going to be tested here. I think he'll probably look to bowl a couple of slower balls. He'll look to bowl a couple of Yorkers. And a couple of full tosses, but this one's been hit beautifully down the ground. Well, you don't often get those full tosses away as confidently as that one. This gives you an idea of how strong Warne is. He got that one right off the meat of the bat. I think he likes the bat. Not easy bowling the last over in these one-day matches. It's a bit of a stressful business. You really have to get it up in the block hole to be really effective and bowl good slower balls. Very hard to adjust if the slower ball is well disguised. 259. He's chipped that in the air. This will be out. Yes, a little lollipop catch as well. That's good bowling. I think it foxed Warne. He was going to wind up and smash it away. It looked like that slower ball again. And he just checked his shot and it ended up just lobbing up in the air.
Yes, but he's done his job for Australia, Shane Warne. Again, that slower delivery. And I think Shane Warne initially was looking to pull it, but the length wasn't there. Just managed to chip it up in the air on the onside. And he's been dismissed for 19. Australia in a good position now, 259 for 8.
That's been hooked away down towards deep square leg. That's a good shot from Damien Martin. Bouncing away down towards the fence at deep mid-wicket for 4. So 263 for 8. And we just show you that last delivery. A short one, pulled away down towards mid-wicket. Lovely shot from Damien Martin. Bouncing away right in the middle of that gap. He does play that shot very well. It's still there, the gap. Anything short, he'll hit it in that direction. You know, there he goes again. Just a little bit wide outside off stump that time. Right, let's have another look at the wicket.
Again, the slower delivery, and Warne looking to chip it on the onside. Just managing to hit it in the air for a simple catch for Harbhajan. I think what did him here was the ball just not coming onto the bat. He was into that shot a little too early, and Harbhajan making no mistake.
Right, so the last ball now of the Australian innings. They've got 263, and they'll be going for the big one. Well, he'll come back for 2 here. Touches down, in comes the throw as well. This will be close. I think he's got him. Yes, that's run out. They'll only get 1. Well, I think Aussie's given him at last. I think he was out by a long way, actually. Let's have a look. Sadu, good fielding today. Have a look at the throw.
Yes, there's no doubt about it. He didn't even ask for the third umpire, Steve Buckner, and for that reason. But then Damien Martin had to go for it. It was the last ball of the innings. He was trying to get as many as possible. Sidhu, the man who threw that ball straight to the keeper's gloves, but on the whole, a good performance just by Australia on winning the toss.
So there it is, the Australian batting card. A great start. Warren Gilchrist, they're getting him off to a fast start. So 264 for 9. From India's point of view, Harbhajan Singh there, 3 for 41. He was the most prolific wicket taker.
Sachin Tendulkar, Sourav Ganguly, the 2 men coming out. Tendulkar is in wonderful form at the moment. Ganguly made 100 the other day, and they're a super opening pair, right-hand, left-hand combination.
Steve Waugh deciding on just the one slip, and the other catching man is a short cover fieldsman. Damien Fleming around the wicket immediately. And he beats Ganguly, as he did in the final a couple of times, outside that off stump. Ganguly looked there as though he hadn't quite got accustomed to the light yet.
You know, what I would have loved to have seen is instead of the Indians sticking to the same batting order, which is Ganguly 1, Ganguly taking strike and Tendulkar being at the non-strikers, then I would have liked to have seen Tendulkar take the first ball, because immediately now, after that first delivery, which went past the batsman's edge, there is a doubt which has crept in Sourav Ganguly's mind. Batsmen, of course, are known by the way they quickly get used to the fact that there will be the odd ball that will go past the bat and forget about it. But the way Ganguly looked at the bowler, it made one feel that maybe it's preying on his mind.
Ganguly off the mark. So Tendulkar will now be on strike, and even that is cheered vociferously here in Sharjah.
Yes, this is a predominantly Indian crowd of Indian supporters here. Plenty of them now that they know that India is batting second and chasing a big target. 264 come down to watch, because they know that the Indians will have to hurry along. So they know that they could be in for some fireworks.
And Tendulkar off the mark, pushing it to Lehman at third man. I wouldn't mind betting a few of the husbands around town contribute to those fireworks going off. They'd be delighted that it's all over and their wives can't spend any more money.
Well, I think you do women a little bit of injustice there. With an equal number of husbands who spend a lot of money.
That's nicely timed. No chance for Kastovich.
Sourav Ganguly loves the ball in that region. Wasn't quite pitched up, but he's played it on the up. And he's played it with a slightly open face bat.
Before the start of this over, Damien Fleming asked the captain for a gully fieldsman for the left-hander. So the short cover is out now for Ganguly. Mark Waugh is in the gully.
It's the Australian field placing spin spot on. Tendulkar does tend to hit the ball up in the air in that region at mid-wicket, either trying to flick it or pull it.
No one at fine leg.
Well, if the fielder is in the circle at short fine leg, the bowler has to be very accurate. You simply cannot afford to stray on the leg side. And particularly if you're bowling to a batsman of Tendulkar's class, he's going to quickly size it up.
Just watching a bit of cricket in the last 12 months or so, Sonny, I think there's definite places in this one-day game now for guys who can leg glance very well. So often now we see fine leg up. At the moment, batsmen are trying to really flick the ball through the onside. I think the old-time players who just let the ball come onto the bat and then just roll the wrist for the leg glance, I think that shot might come back into vogue. And those sort of players will become very prolific. Talking to Abdul Rahman Bakata, a man who had the vision to start cricket here in Sharjah, and he was telling me the lights are from Australia. Oh, he's bowled him. A little bit of late in swing there from Michael Kastovich, as the batsman indicates. That's a good piece of bowling.
Not only is it a very good piece of bowling, that is a big blow for India. The man in form, the man with 100 in his previous game. Look at the swing that Michael Kasparowicz has got. The wide ball does swing a lot. It's beaten Ganguly as he tried to force the ball to the onside. He's out for 8. India have lost their first wicket for 15.
Mohammad Azharuddin batting at number 3. Was a hit of outswing there as well. Michael Bevan at third man. Lovely conditions for cricket now. There's a bit of breeze around. It's a lot cooler as we move into the night phase. And the lights are very bright. Yes, apparently the lights are actually from Australia, the towers from Malaysia. Well, that's an excellent shot. Wasn't all that short. Right off the middle of the bat. Can't afford to bowl there to Azharuddin. That's a lovely shot. Azharuddin shows there. We're just talking about what a cosmopolitan cricket ground this is. The umpires these days from all different parts of the world. Ian Robinson from Zimbabwe, a very casual character, very placid temperament, as has this man, Steve Bucknor from Montego Bay in Jamaica. I don't think you could get two more laid-back umpires than these two. So 2 balls on the pads in this over and they've both been dispatched. Oh, he caught the edge. The second slip is out for Tendulkar. He may not have caught it, but he would have gone very close.
Well, it didn't go in the direction he intended to play. He's trying to work it to the onside. The late movement defeating his shot. Michael Kasparowicz not very impressed because not only was there a possible chance if there had been a second slip, it's also gone for a boundary. But as far as the Indians are concerned, it doesn't matter how the runs come, so long as they come and keep coming.
Well, that'll disappear. Bowling on his pads. Kasparowicz is annoyed and immediately turns on his heel and starts walking back to his mark.
But this is not an easy shot to play at all. To play the shot wide of mid-wicket is not an easy shot. But the little champion has made it look very simple. Lovely placement. Lovely transfer of weight onto the front foot, and look at the full face of the bat.
He's on the charge, Tendulkar. This is magnificent batting.
Steve Waugh, he's got some problem. If Tendulkar continues to bat like this, just showing now, having played that delightful flick to mid-wicket, that he doesn't favour any particular side. He's now shown that he can play fluently on the offside as well.
What did W.G. Grace say? I don't like defensive shot. You only get 3s.
Yes, Dr. Grace was one of a kind. Sachin Tendulkar is one of a kind too. 6 boundaries in that 29. The strike rate 170. Well, that's what India need if they're going to get to that target of 264.
They'll be looking for 2, but not with Michael Bevan. Azharuddin doing the right thing here. Tendulkar is on fire and he wants to give him as much strike as possible. This is how he started the over.
Yes, that's good thinking. This one didn't quite go in the direction he intended, but this one certainly did. And this one definitely did.
Well run. 15 off the over. India 45 for 1. Edge. And it's gone between keeper and slip. Good effort from Darren Lehmann. That edge coming off a no ball, so it wouldn't have mattered if it was caught.
Azharuddin just trying to open the face of the bat and try and play it backward of point. Very good effort there by Darren Lehmann. The Australians giving it everything, and that's the reason why the Indians need to make the most of their first 15 overs. It won't be easy with the Australian fielding to score boundaries later on.
Steve Waugh just doing a few loosening up exercises, maybe to just relieve a bit of the tension at the moment he's feeling, or maybe he's going to say, well, if you want the job done, do it and you want it done properly, do it yourself. Good slower ball there from Damien Fleming. Steve Waugh started to bowl late in the one-day series in India. Bowled in Delhi in the match before the final, and then bowled also in the final. Edge, and Tendulkar is gone. He looks at the umpire to see if Steve Bucknor's heard it, and he had.
Well, this was short, and this was also a little wide. That is what tempted Mohammad Azharuddin into going for the big slash, trying to slash it over the head of the fielder in the slip. Unfortunately for him, and India just managing to get a tickle. Gilchrist completing the job. And India have lost their second wicket for 48.
Damien Fleming has just left the field. Robertson has come out as substitute. He's at short fine leg. We saw Damien Fleming just holding his stomach in the last over when he bowled. This is good bowling by Moody so far in this over. He's trying to bowl as straight as possible. And there's the general manager of the Princeton Hotel, where the entire television crew is staying. At least the commentators are. And the hospitality extended has been wonderful.
Sadhu is quite a good player, square of the wicket on the offside and very powerful on the onside and straight down the ground. So that's why he's such a good foil to Tendulkar. Bit of pressure on Tom Moody, but he's responded well.
This is a very good over so far. He's doing the right thing here. He's not trying to experiment too much when he's bowling to Sidhu. He knows he's the new man in. He's going to try and keep it as straight as possible to him, not give him the room Greg Chappell was talking about outside the off stump, because that's an area Sidhu favours.
The big thing that Moody's been able to do is keep Tendulkar away from the strike, and that is very important at this stage.
And it's frustration that brings about Sidhu's dismissal. He was kept quiet, he tried to break free, chose the wrong ball to hit, and the result is that he's walking back to the pavilion.
Well, I think Sidhu became aware of the fact that he'd kept Tendulkar away from the strike for a long time and thought that he'd better hit a boundary to make up for it. That's the sort of pressure that you've got to apply to opposition sides, and in the end a fairly soft dismissal with Lehman taking the catch at mid-on. So Moody is struck, Sidhu is out for 11, and India 63 for 3.
The big crowd in now, just short of the crowd for the India-New Zealand match the other evening, but it'll be close to 18,000 tonight, I reckon, just about a capacity. And that's for a thickish edge. Jadeja thinks it's much more fun than does Moody. Right off the cue end.
Yes, that one went flying away off the bottom edge of the bat. Stayed down a little bit. Really good line from Moody. He was a bit unlucky there. And the third man again. This time, just the one. Bevan's down there. 8 runs from the over. 84 for 3, and you can hear the buzz around the ground. There's a good reason for that. It's because Shane Warner's got the ball in his hand. Just giving his cap to the umpire there, and he's marked his run up. Now this will be interesting. 93 matches, an average of 23 per wicket taken, and an economy rate of hovering around that 4 mark. His big value is the wickets he takes. 148 in all so far.
He bowled beautifully against New Zealand last evening, 2 for 28 in 10. And he bowled very well in the final in India. Also did his shoulder a bit of damage yesterday.
Just one bounce, and that'll be cut off. One single. Now, a lot of these folk in this ground have come to watch this contest. Listen to them, the buzz. Tendulkar on strike. Shane Warne in his first over to him. A ring of fieldsmen saving one on the offside, as well as a man sweeping back on the boundary. On the onside, just a deep long on, mid-wicket, deep square leg and deep fine leg. Warne to Tendulkar. Not happy, not entirely happy with his field. He wants the square leg just a little square up. That's a bit short, that one. He's got it through the gap. That'll go to the fence for 4. So Tendulkar has got the first punch away. Just a bit short, that one from Warne. Understandable in his first over. He's going to be a little rusty. He's got a bit of a problem with his shoulder. But Tendulkar is very severe on anything short, anything slightly loose.
A bit of turn there. He hardly turned any yesterday evening against New Zealand. Well, just about all top spinners.
Tendulkar on 49. And this will be easily the fastest 50 of the tournament. That's it. Tendulkar's 50. Very well played indeed. But the job is only half done. Acknowledging the applause here. This is what they've come to see. Shane Warne to continue. It's time to Jadeja.
Good running, Crab!
I was talking about the fact that they were prepared to give Tendulkar the single. Not so with Jadeja. They've got 7 fieldsmen inside the circle for Jadeja. 4 on the offside, 3 on the on, all saving the single to keep him on strike and keep Tendulkar away from it.
Right, we'll just watch the field spread out. They clearly consider that he's pretty dangerous in this area. You can see the 2 fieldsmen coming down now towards the boundary. So it's this area here and that area there. They've got the fieldsmen back on the boundary for for Tendulkar when Warne's bowling. They want to cover that area. And there's that single that Richie Benno was talking about. Conceded down to long on. Now that fieldsman will come back in to save the one. Over bowled. He tried to whip that one away on the onside, and Warne doesn't mind seeing batsmen do that. If he's spinning the ball from leg to off, he doesn't mind seeing this. If they try and play it too square on the onside, there's always a chance that the ball gets front edged or it'll just sneak through. Oh, he's got him, yes, well bowled Shane Warne, beautifully bowled. That was a wonderful bit of bowling and beautifully stumped by Gilchrist as well. He's got him in hook, line and sinker. That's a very important wicket. Shane Warne brought into the attack and he has struck.
Top spinner, top spinner, top spinner. And then the one that left him. Beautifully done. Great cricket.
Kanitkar is the new batsman. 94 for 4 now, India. Moody continuing, and once again they concede a single. So Tendulkar takes one and gets down to the non-strikers end. Well, this is good bowling by Shane Warne. Just watch this. That did turn. That was a beautiful ball. It turned, beat everything, and nicely done. That was beautifully taken by Gilchrist as well.
That was a classic. He beat him in the flight and just drifted towards his pads. I reckon Jadeja thought he had it covered, and then that sharp spin for the first time. Kept the ball going straight at Jadeja, straight after ball after ball, and bounce as well.
Yes, that's beautiful bowling. You just watch how far he's down the wicket here, stranded. Beautiful length. Got him out and got him. And I think Gilchrist might have enjoyed that as well.
Not easy for a keeper if Warne is doing what we're just saying, that he's bowling top spinner after top spinner, but sometimes with side spin on the ball, sometimes overspin. Gilchrist has the job of knowing when the dipping leg break is going to come. He's got to be alert for it.
Oh, Hrishikesh, Kanitkar wants to be a little careful outside that off stump to Moody. He's a tall man, he gets a little bit of bounce, and he's of course angling across him as well. Just trying to run that one down to third man. He's bowled well, Moody. 6.4 overs, 1 for 24. Lots of responsibility on the shoulders now of Tendulkar. But he's capable of anything. So while he's out there, absolutely anything can happen. However, things have gone a little quiet. The crowd at one stage were jumping out of their seats. They've just settled down a little bit. I think they're starting to worry a little bit. Oh, that would have been out. And I think the batsman has actually got his bat caught up with his knee there as he's tried to run his bat in. It looked to me as if his bat might have got caught up and then jabbed his knee. I'll tell you what, he would have been out though if the ball had hit the stumps. Just a little dab down there. He was laid out of the blocks. Here he comes now. There we are. You see, he would have been out by miles. And there's the bat. You can see the bat there. I think just got stuck in the ground a little bit and then hit him right on the handle. Hit him right on the end of the knee. 97 for 4.
When it comes to the big boxing events in 90 Fury.
Required run rate just going up a little.
In! Got him, Bob, got him!
Back for the second. Good running. Yes, I think that'll be his strategy now. He's been settling for the one. He'll be looking for twos. I think he's also realised that he's probably got to see Warne off. I think that's probably what's going through his mind. If I can keep batting, picking up perhaps 3 or 4 and over off Warne, and still be when his spell's finished, we may have a chance of winning.
Come on, Warnie. 5.
Oh, well played. He's got that one away fine as well. They'll get another 2. He may even look for 3. No, he's going to settle for 2. And what's more, that brings up the 100 for India.
Just under 5 and over now. There's the man who bears all the responsibility. He started off in blazing fashion. Now the wickets are falling.
The gap this time, he'll have to settle for the 1. Well, he won't mind that, because if he's got 2 twos and a single, that's already 5 off the over. So another little discussion here between Steve Waugh and Shane Warne about the field, and I think talking about whether or not they should push another one back on the onside. It will quite an interesting field here. Very strong offside field.
Goal change.
Got it through the packed offside field. Back for 2 as well.
Work there, boss.
It was good running, but it was brilliant fielding as well. Lehman has got round to that and deliberately thrown on the bounce.
Bowled. He just kept that one out, and they've had to go down the other end. Mark Waugh always looking for an opportunity. Another single.
So not much to choose between the two sides at this stage, apart from the fact that India had lost 1 extra wicket. Australia then did well to reach 264. And this is a good hit from Kanitkar. It's a very good hit. 4 runs.
Very, very straight hit. Almost absolutely perfectly over the top of the stumps. Terrific follow through. That's good hitting when you hit as straight as that. This will give you a good idea of how straight Kanitkar hit it. When it comes down, it's virtually over the top of umpire Robinson's head.
Tom Moody has decided to do something different. He's now coming round the wicket to Kanitkar. Obviously trying to tuck him up, not allowing him to use his arms. The crowd now have really got into this game. And one thing for sure is that till this man remains, Tendulkar, the interest in this match will be sustained.
Now this over, Tendulkar has once again been looking on. If this goes on for too long, they might pick up his wicket through frustration.
Yes, again a single of the last ball, so Kanitkar will keep the strike. He's played 24 out of the last 30 deliveries, 114 for 4. Yes, Andrew Kokinos has been appointed as the physiotherapist of the Indian team just recently. He's from Melbourne, Australia. They look for 2 here and get it easily. Edged and dropped. He had the slip in the position just for that kind of delivery. Found the outside edge. Steve Waugh could hold on to that. 3 runs coming off that shot. And Shane Warne a little unlucky.
There we are, we've got another change, and so this is going to be Bevan now. Well, this will be interesting. This is a bit of a gamble here. A couple of overs from Bevan, perhaps. He's inclined to bowl quite a few loose deliveries, and then all of a sudden he comes up with an absolute gem of a ball. A lot of the batsmen find it quite hard to pick his googly. Bowls it fast. So Tendulkar on strike.
What India must not try to do is try and hit Bevan out of the attack. What they must try and do is to try and get a run of just about every ball, because he is bound to bowl the odd loose delivery. He's not a regular bowler. He might have 26 wickets there, but he's not a regular bowler, so he will bowl the loose ball.
Now it'll be interesting to see what tactics Tendulkar employs. He's played so sensibly. I suspect he'll have a good look at him. He won't want to do anything silly. He'll wait for the loose ball. He'll be aware that he's going to receive the odd loose one from him, and he'll try and punish that.
Yes, that's important. When the loose delivery comes from Michael Bevan, then Tendulkar must try and, or Hrishikesh Kanitkar must try and hit it for a boundary. Not to worry too much about the fact that there will be a couple of dot balls in Bevan's over.
Yes, quite right. Very wide. It'll take a little time to settle down, Bevan. Be a little tense too. He's bowling to the best batsman in the world. They'll be looking for runs in that area. You see bowls are just outside off stump, and they certainly Tendulkar plays that little late cut beautifully.
Yes, he's been playing shots behind the wicket very nicely, just waiting for the ball to come on to him till the very last moment, whether it's playing that little nudge outside the off stump or the leg glance.
He's got that one away fine as well. It's running all the way down to the boundary, and that'll go all the way. Well, just off line, and a little bit of bat on it, another 4. That was sensible. The other thing that is going for India here is the fact that Fleming is off the ground. In fact, he's just come back on, but there was a suggestion that he might have torn a muscle somewhere around his tummy area. If he can't bowl, that'll be a major problem. Oh, big appeal, that's out. Yes, he's plumb LBW. Well, now that wasn't a very clever shot. He was trying to work that away on the onside, a dead straight delivery, and Steve Waugh has struck. Now this could make all the difference. Just that momentum, that loss of concentration for a second. Watch it again.
Well, he was trying to work it down to the onside. Hrishikesh Kanitkar nudged it away for a single, and when he missed it, umpire Robinson didn't have too much time, didn't take too much time to take that decision. He's played well though. Hrishikesh Kanitkar for 35, India 161 for 5.
Nayan Mongia, the new batsman. Always difficult when you first come in under this sort of pressure. So Fleming, he's going to be given another go. He's done some loosening up exercises. He looks a little bit stressed, doesn't he? And he goes now. Oh, he's got him. That's a great wicket. Fleming has struck. That's the end of Tendulkar. Well, what a break. First ball, Fleming back into the attack, and he's got him to nick one through to the keeper. And that really will upset Sachin Tendulkar. He's played so well, and he looked as if he had himself under control. That wasn't a good shot, though. He played a pushy shot at a wide-ish delivery.
Well, we've been saying that from the beginning, that is not his strength. His strength is the drive. This is not what Sachin Tendulkar is good at, because this is really a one-run shot, not a boundary shot. He's so good at playing the drive and getting the boundaries, but that is a big blow as far as India is concerned. Tendulkar out for 80, 161 for 6, and the drinks trolley is on the ground.
Still to come, Venkat Prasad, Harvinder Singh and Singh. There's 8 extras in that total of 179 for 6 and 11 overs to go. Here's Steve Waugh. That'll rouse the crowd. They need a few of those because the asking rate is up now above 7.5.
That's a shot any batsman would be proud of. Nayan Mongia, more of an all-rounder, I suppose, with his wicket-keeping abilities and middle-order batting. But they do need some more boundaries at the moment. Both Mongia and Kumble, very experienced players. They know better than anybody else the situation of the game. They know they need a few boundaries as well, but they also know they can't afford to get out. So it's a very thin line between too much aggression and not enough aggression. Kumble is the one that's perhaps struggled to get the ball away in this innings, but he can be a very dangerous player at the lower middle order. Steve Waugh has got him a bit befuddled at the moment, and the crowd starting to show their frustration with Kumble. Slower ball there from Steve Waugh, confusing Kumble with the change of pace. Very experienced bowler in the latter stages of one-day matches, Steve.
This is the man who can do it for India. Mongia is real dasher. Just in that fashion. A lovely flat blow straight down the ground for 6. Not much height there, but it just crashed into the boundary boards on the full.
It's a good hit straight down the ground. Is a good place to go. He picked the right delivery. He's got enough room to swing his arms free, and again the timing from the little fellow is the equal of any of the batsmen in this game.
That's a good over for India. It's 192 for 6 now. 73 from 60 balls. That's a bit better for India from that last over, bowled by Steve Waugh. That's out. Good catch. He picked that up beautifully in the background. It was wonderfully well hit. Just the man for it out there, Ricky Ponting. It was a very, very good shot. All came to nothing because Ponting sighted it, made ground wonderfully well, and then stopped for the catch.
Well, Mongia knew what he had to do. Unfortunately, on this occasion, the placement wasn't quite as good as the timing, and Ponting makes a comfortable catch, and he enjoys it because he knows that's an important breakthrough for Australia. Mongia out for 19, India 192 for 7.
A great blow against India. Mongia just starting to cut loose. Now he's gone and Harbhajan Singh is in.
It can be difficult enough in the daytime for catches in the outfield, but this was a pretty low flying ball. It wasn't as though it was hit a long way up in the air. So Ponting had to be on his toes, picked it up very early, much like Mohammad Azharuddin in the Australian batting innings when he took Tom Moody's catch. Made a rather difficult catch look quite simple.
To give you an idea of what Ponting did and how quickly he got in, he was there waiting for the ball, which was a flat hit, very fast, and he is actually on the rope. And he's taken the catch in, good 18, 20 metres, I reckon. He just went like a flash.
Anticipation is a very important part of fielding anywhere, but particularly in the outfield, to get yourself in the right position when the ball arrives. Kumble now has the task of taking over the senior role. He's been out there now for 36 minutes. He's faced 31 balls. He's really going to have to take the senior role here. You've got to say that India's chances faded somewhat when Mongia went. He seemingly was one of the few players left who could hit the ball to the boundary and over it. Kumble, though, has a lot of talent and needs to show it now. The difficulty for India and the supporters of the Indian team is that Harbhajan Singh needs to establish himself out in the middle. Plenty of colour in some of the dress in the outfield and in the stands. Warnie's having a bit of fun on the boundary. It's always much more fun when you're winning games.
Indeed it is. Shane Warne did a good job early on. He bowled a series of top spinners in the middle of that tactical battle with Tendulkar and Jadeja, where Steve Waugh and Warne worked out what they were going to do. They were going to give Tendulkar the single, and that, mind you, to bring on to strike the man who was so successful in the recent one-day tournament in India. Safe. And then Warne bowled to Jadeja and got him with a brilliant leg break. 195 for 7.
And the crowd rather subdued at the moment, with India struggling to keep the run rate up for this chase of 265. It's a big target to get. That'll be out. Mark Waugh doesn't miss too many in the field. A miss hit there from Harvinder, but Mark Waugh always had it covered. And you've got to say now that the hopes for India just about dashed as Steve Waugh changes up the pace once more. Harvinder trying to hit it away over the leg side. Mark Waugh, as always, fairly casual, makes a sharp chance or a difficult chance look relatively easy. Harbhajan Singh is out for 1. Caught Mark Waugh, bowled Steve Waugh, 196 for 8.
Venkatesh Prasad facing Steve Waugh. Not enough wickets in hand, I'm afraid. The Australians have played extremely well. Quite a few drifting towards the turnstiles. Exit ones this time. And another one. Mark Waugh again, the slower ball this time. And completely confused the batsman. 9 down, 198 on the board. We're only into the 43rd over. Prasad is the batsman out. Kumble is left there at the non-striker's end.
See the ball coming out of the back of the hand for Steve Waugh. The faster leg break is his slower ball, and Mark Waugh once again very safe. Prasad out for 2, 198 for 9.
Harbhajan Singh coming out now to join Anil Kumble. Shane Warne to bowl. More smart fielding. It's been outstanding this evening. The Australians worked very hard to get a sizable total. Had India made the runs, it would have been the most ever chasing a target here at Sharjah. .243 was the previous best, so it was a superb performance from the Australians to get up to that figure of 9 for 264. Runs for that, and they'll get 4 to take it along to 203 for 9. Quite a difficult choice for the Man of the Match award in this particular game. There's been some outstanding efforts from quite a number of players. India needing 62 from 42 at the moment. Just take the single there, 205 for 9 now. Yes, ARY Gold make the awards for the Man of the Match. Those preliminary rounds, such as this game here, India v Australia, $1,000. That Man of the Series, the 2,500. With that will go the medallions being struck for the Sydney 2000 Olympics. And that also applies to all the preliminary games. Sachin Tendulkar leads in the prize for the fastest half century. It was Ricky Ponting until Tendulkar got cracking today. Tendulkar made his half century from 44 balls. And a very good one it was too. That is an ongoing prize. The best bowler and the best fielder as well, $1,000 US for each of those. One of the things the Indians haven't done is ensure, not at the moment anyway, that they're going to bat out their full 50 overs. But in the run rate, they'll be charged in that vein. Steve Waugh was just about to finish his 9th over. 3 wickets for him. Missed out with the bat, but his tactical expertise out there today was good. A good plan for Tendulkar, and that is all over. 206 India, and a very, very good performance from Steve Waugh and the team to get up to 264 for the loss of 9 wickets, and then to counter the blazing attack from Sachin Tendulkar was quite an achievement.
A lot of satisfaction there for Steve Waugh. They set themselves to do well in this game, set themselves to do well in this series, and Steve will be very satisfied that his team has played very well this evening. They batted well, won the toss, which was important, batted very consistently. There was a good contribution from pretty well all of the batsmen, and the fielding and bowling was very intelligent, very enthusiastic. And despite the fact that Sachin Tendulkar got away to a flying start, the Australians didn't panic. Steve Waugh himself didn't panic. He kept Damien Fleming going, and Kasprowicz, when it looked like they were getting a bit of stick from Tendulkar in particular. Some good fielding from the Australians. Ponting's always very good in the field. Tom Moody bowled well. Kasprowicz in the background there. Lehmann was good in the field. Bevan we saw do a typical job with the bat in the middle order, lower middle order for Australia. Robertson was 12th man this evening. So the Indian batting, rather disappointing in the end. Just not enough support for Tendulkar. A little bit of support from Kanitkar, but